Welcome back to another episode of Teslamonial, Wisconsin. I am here with Jeremy. Jeremy is a fellow Tesla owner. I would like to hear your Teslamony, your Tesla testimony. So, tell me, what year, make, model Tesla do you have?
I have a 2025 Model 3.
Which is a Highland.
Yes, sir.
So you have a newer Highland. And you bought it new, correct?
Correct. I bought it right at the end of 2024, actually.
Okay.
So right at the change between the previous Model 3 and the new.
Can you tell me, what was the buying process like? Did you go in person? Did you have a salesman? Did you do it on your phone? What was the process like buying a Tesla?
Most of it I had done on my phone. I had weighed the options between buying something used from Tesla and then, of course, getting something brand new, say, from the factory. And being that the new Highlands were just coming out, I really made the jump and did it straight through the app for the most part.
Did you test drive it before, or did you just go out and buy one?
I had test driven a few. Since we travel for work, I had opted into getting an EV upgrade a few times. So I had driven a Y, I had driven a 3, and up to that point I had driven an X as well.
Okay. And then when you went to get it, we live in Wisconsin, so you can't pick it up here in the state. So you went to Illinois and you picked it up?
Yeah, I can't remember the city's name, but it's pretty much the closest one to where we were.
Right.
So a lot
like
of it
Naperville or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the communication was pretty much straight through the app. I think once I submitted my order, a guy from the Milwaukee area sales, you call it sales?
Yeah, sales service. I know what you mean. We have the gallery down there, so it's help instead of actual sales.
Yeah, he reached out and made sure I had any questions. At the time, he also reached out that it's not pre-owned, but they have a different name for it, came through for performance, Model 3 performance, and it's essentially the same price, but the incentives that Tesla was offering at the time wasn't available for their factory pre-owned Teslas.
Right. I gotcha. All right. During the duration of your ownership, how has the reliability been? Have you had some service calls?
It's been really good. I did have one. So the EV tires have that, due to the weight, have that inner cushioning inside the tires to help for traction and dampening, and that came off inside the wheel. So you'll notice it because your car will start vibrating violently at highway speeds, especially. I speed a little bit, so driving 80 plus, so you'll feel like you're sitting on top of a washing machine.
With a brick in it.
With a brick in it. Yeah. But I submitted it was probably 8 months in, so I had about 8 months. I submitted a service ticket, drove it down to Milwaukee. We made a day trip out of it. Did some shopping down there, but they essentially just replaced the tire completely.
Did it cost you anything, or was it covered?
Yeah, it's completely covered.
That's awesome. So tires are classified as a wear item. So a lot of times tires, brakes, things like that aren't covered because of the fact that it's a wear item. Even though 8 months is way too soon for those things to wear, still that's usually a loophole where people get screwed when something like that happens.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
So did you have like a special Tesla tire protection plan or anything?
No, I just had the standard warranty, and I went in and they replaced it for me. So I was fully expecting to have to pay for it, the tire. So
that's really nice. Any other, because you've had it now 2 years, we'll say, so any other service appointments in that time?
No, I think they might have done, I don't know if they changed the cabin filter. They had mentioned something. I don't know what the annual replacement is for our cabin filters, but
I gotta look up PMs because we don't have that many, and I think that might be the only, or there's tire rotation and cabin filters are the only PMs for us.
Right.
So I haven't had to worry about tire rotation yet, just because I have 2 sets of tires now with snow tires and regular tires. But okay, interesting. Let's move on to range anxiety. How have you felt before owning an EV about range anxiety? Since owning an EV, how has your range anxiety felt?
It's both. So it's kind of weather specific, truthfully. When it's super cold here, when it's like -30 in the extreme weather we got, it's a little bit more apparent than say during the summer. I've done a road trip to Minnesota and back, or like Minneapolis specifically. What would you say?
Like a 6-hour drive?
Yeah, 6-hour drive.
One way?
You kind of have to look. It requires a little bit more pre-planning than a standard combustion engine vehicle would, but most of the time, like I said, I've never faced an issue to where I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna run out of charge. There's always seemed to be one at least close enough, at least in the Wisconsin area and Illinois area where I've driven it, and of course Minnesota. But yeah, like I said, with range anxiety, not too much. Most places where you're thinking about driving, right? Like Chicago for us is a 2-hour there, 2-hour back kind of drive.
Right.
You can get within a single charge on most days. But yeah, not too bad.
Do you feel like it's gone down? Did you have more range anxiety when you first got your car, and now that you've had it longer, you understand it better? You're more relaxed about going greater distances, or do you think it's about the same?
Maybe less generally, and then maybe more in extreme weather, right? So,
okay.
I don't know what your experience was. Like, it wasn't bad, like a snow, but it is something that you need to accommodate for when it's like -30. Don't be going through a bunch of drive-throughs, rolling your windows down and things like that when it's like -30 or 40 out. But I hope most people aren't traveling, but as long as it's above 0 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius, there's really no major issues. My commute's only 4 minutes, so I don't have the largest commute. The farthest I drive is to the airport if we travel for work. So
yeah.
Typically then, the one thing that you noticed is like whenever you park, if you park it long term at an airport, of course you got to disable some of the extra features. Like if you're gone for a week,
yeah,
disabling, say, was it Sentry mode, right? Or cabin overheat protection, or increasing it to some extent. So,
right. I know. I haven't parked at an airport with my Tesla yet, but I know what you mean. They talk about going into low power mode, maybe disabling Sentry if you're going to be gone for an extended period of time, because it does slowly degrade the battery. They even talk about like don't constantly go on and check on your car, because it wakes it up, and that again goes through more battery. So if you're gone for a while, just kind of let it be.
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable with that. If you're not gone that long, you can leave it all on.
Yeah. It is even, the less you check it, the less you really interact with it. I think the less the Tesla essentially turns on for you to, that increases the battery drain, but disabling Sentry mode was huge. And that was a learning for me. Traveling for work, I think I parked it for about a week, right? Milwaukee being about 60 miles away. Planned for about, like, you should be able to get there and back on one charge.
Do you charge to 100% before those trips or no?
I typically don't. Depends on what I'm doing. Like if I know I'm going to be like doing one, sometimes I'll charge to 100%. But Milwaukee and back, there's no issue. 80%, 120, say 150 mile trips with side stops is well within like 60 to 70% of the battery's range. So
I go to Milwaukee a lot, and I never charge over 100. If I go to Chicago or farther, I'll charge to 100. But my 60-mile one-way trips, like you said, I leave it at the 80%, and I just go. I didn't know if it was different since you're leaving it for a week, and if you were pre-planning for a little bit of loss every day. Yeah. If that would be a case where you charge to 100%, drive your 60 miles, which means you're not excessively charged by the time you get there. You might lose 20%, 20%, and then you'd let it sit for a week, and then you pick it up. But I don't know if you plan differently accordingly.
Yeah, I'll usually plan it on my like return trip. Like I think of those things, but I mean, Chicago being 2 hours away, even with traffic, right? Max 50% of the battery,
right.
40 to 50%. One way, and then I'll plan to get food right on the way back, being Chicago area, northern Illinois. There's plenty of stops and plenty of good food spots to indulge in while you charge.
That would work out nicely. I always rent a car for work when I'm going to and from the airport, but it would be nice with the Tesla to be able to let FSD take you down there. And when I drive other cars, I do miss FSD. It's just handy,
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you drive your Tesla all year round?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you have snow tires, anything special for winter time, or no?
No, I had a rear-wheel drive car before that I would always put snow tires on, but I've actually been relatively impressed with how Tesla handles in the snow, kind of, I guess, factory, but...
In your current Highland's all-wheel drive, correct?
Correct, yeah.
All right.
So it's, like I said, if it's to the point to where I'm questioning whether or not I should be driving my Tesla, I probably don't need to be going anywhere in the first place. So
Right.
Work from home, or I guess we have that luxury a little bit to where if it is really bad out, we can just say work from home. But kind of out where I'm living, you almost need a truck to get out anyways, unless the plows come through.
Yeah, if there's a lot of snow, you're not in town, you're more out.
Yeah.
So I could see that you get plowed out later.
Yeah, so snow tires wouldn't help me at all at that point.
Obviously, you've noticed a reduction in range in winter. Does that give you more issues or problems? Well, that's not where we want to go.
Is it going to take us around? Let's take us on a scenic route.
I didn't even know if we could drive. Okay, this is a drop-off area. And we're going the wrong way. Hit the brake. Oh, that was special.
That's a new one.
That is a new one. We're at a church, and this was supposed to be a street stop, and it took us into a drop-off area, which is fine, but then it almost looked like it wanted to go up the sidewalk or something.
There's a clear driveway, though, coming in. So.
It is nice. You can turn back on FSD. You're in a good spot.
Yeah, you got the turn stalks. I don't have the turn stalks.
Yeah, that's... did you hear about the reason why?
Yeah, about the roundabouts, which is a pain.
Roundabouts in Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know if in the USA, if that is a law to use the turn signal to exit a roundabout in the USA. It may or may not. I actually have no idea. But in Europe, apparently that's a more strict thing, is you have to use the round. I'm guessing because they have bigger roundabouts.
Yeah,
probably. I mean, they have small ones too. I've driven all over Europe, and they have small ones like us, but I've been in some big roundabouts in Europe.
Multi-lane.
And in America, I don't know if we have those. I've never been in a huge roundabout in America. Every roundabout I've been in is a residential small roundabout.
2-lane max.
Yeah. Whereas I've seen some like 8-lane roundabouts in Europe.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense on needing that blinker.
Yeah, that does make it a little difficult in my Highland. Like over there, we have those double roundabouts coming off the highway.
Right.
Where if you are in the left lane, you need to get to the right lane. You're turning, and then you're trying to hit the button, trying to get that lane over. But 90% of the time, I have FSD on anyways, so it's...
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, so if you go back a couple years in Tesla, on both sides of the steering wheel, there was a shifter stalk on the right, and there was the blinker stalk on the left, like a regular car would have. And I don't know what was deleted first, the shifter or the blinker, but they were both deleted completely. To where on the on the screen is where we shift now, and that's still the way that we do it on the new cars. Whereas the blinker stalk was deleted, and it was a button on the steering wheel, which now it's a headlight and a windshield wiper button, but it was on the left side of the steering wheel was your blinker. Well, that became a problem in Europe, and because of that, they were forced to put it back, and the Y has it back. I'm guessing new 3s have it as well?
I think the new 3s have it. They did not a refresh of the 3, but the new 3 with
they
the
had to add some stuff, yeah. Because you guys got the Highland was out for like a year with no front camera, and now it has it.
Yeah.
But because I assume yours doesn't, right?
Mine doesn't have the front camera.
I'm curious if you have any FSD. I know initially the front camera I think was made for Summon initially, but they've said in version 14 that the front camera is going to start to play a bigger and bigger role. And I even asked Grok recently, what does the front camera do? And aside from Summon, it is partially for forward parking.
Oh, sure.
And so right now, I don't think the front camera plays a big role in the car's ability to forward park or to drive. But I'm curious over the next year with new FSD updates, not having a front camera, even though you have a Highland, which is the newest 3.
Yeah.
I don't know with not having that front camera if that's going to eventually limit. I mean, eventually we're all going to be limited because they're always making new tech. But
yeah, I was curious about that as well. I guess I wouldn't know not having a different one. This is the first one I've been in with the with the front camera, but I haven't noticed any really negative improvements or negative.
Yeah, you don't notice a difference.
Yeah.
When you use FSD, because you do, which even though it's an upcoming question, and you let it go all the way, does yours go in and forward park?
In like my garage?
No, in a parking lot. If you're going to a business or a store or some place, not your house, but you're going to a business or a store, and there's a parking lot outside, does your Highland go into the parking lot, go in and forward park into a space?
I guess I've never tried that. It will park in my garage, so it'll pull into my garage for me and park.
Nice.
That's relatively, it's kind of inconsistent because
Yeah.
with our 3-car garage, sometimes it'll notice because I have it'll automatically open my garage as it approaches and it'll pull in. Sometimes it seems uncertain whether it wants to park in front of the double door or it recognize that the left is open and pull in.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll open and then stop like right before.
Okay.
That hasn't been
HomeLink or MyQ?
my cue.
Okay. That's what I have. Mine's inconsistent. It will pull in the garage sometimes and not others, but I don't let it do it a lot because every time it does, it always pulls in forward and I back in.
Oh,
So I always get right in front of my garage and I take over and then I turn away and I back in.
I see.
But, okay. Do you have any other cars that you drive other than your Tesla? Or is that your only car for you?
Me and my wife, we share a Buick. Actually, I can't even know what it is. It's like a Envista, I believe. Envision?
Yeah.
One of them.
I think Envision's a thing.
There's like 3. There's like Enclave, Envista, Envision, and there's like 4 tiers to it. Yeah, we share that one sometimes. I drive the Tesla more. Wife's had a little bit of anxiety when it comes to driving the Tesla for whatever reason.
Do you think it's range? The electric range anxiety, or do you think it's something else?
No, it's something else. Like she doesn't mind. She doesn't care too much about the range because most of the driving she'll do is in the city. I think for some reason she's just intimidated by it, but I find the driving experience much better than a standard vehicle, at least with FSD.
I'm curious what it's going to do here because we're supposed to be in the left lane. I guess it's slowly passing that car. I was curious here. Or is it going to slow down? Oh, it's turning right. Not where I thought. We're supposed to be going to the left.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. Oh, it's going to do this big turnaround roundabout thing. Or is it parking? I've never had FSD do this for me before. Ah!
It parked here, said we're here.
It parked across the street, so not exactly what we're looking for. Actually, I hit end trip, and where was our next?
You driving? Oh.
There we go. I'll just have it do that. Now it's got a destination. Okay. So you drive the Buick once in a while. I know you have a kid. Do you drive it for just more storage space sometimes, or why do you take the Buick?
What's that?
We're going through an alleyway that says no through traffic, so that was beautiful.
Yeah.
FSD isn't, I mean, it's good, but it's a little flawed yet. It doesn't realize certain street signs it just can't see. So why do you drive the Buick once in a while? Is it just what it is, or do you want more
bigger.
space?
Yeah, it's a larger vehicle, so if we have to pick up anything, well, the Model 3 does have quite a bit of trunk space. That one's essentially an SUV, so if we need to pick up something larger than I would put in the trunk of my Model 3, we take that.
I gotcha. The Model 3 has more space than the Buick?
No, it does have pretty good space, but some things you just can't fit in a standard 4-door vehicle.
No, for sure. It's nice that I actually don't know. The 3 is a trunk. It's not a hatch, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. The next one I already know because we've touched on it, but I'm going to ask it. So do you have FSD, and do you subscribe or purchase, and how much do you use it?
I have FSD. I use it essentially daily. It's become more of a habit than not using it. While I only drive maybe a total of 4 miles from work to home, and even taking my daughter to school total. It's actually this loop we just did, kind of, but taking the Mueller Road. But Yeah, I use it essentially daily when I do drive. I bought it as when I purchased mine, there were some really good incentives where if you purchased FSD, you got 0% APR. So, of course, that's like knowing I was going to use it or at least subscribe to it, I purchased it and got that package together.
Awesome. And you use it a lot, use it on road trips and things like that.
Oh.
You like it, you trust it, you're comfortable with it?
Yeah, absolutely. We used it, we pretty much had it drive when we did a road trip to Minneapolis. We pretty much used it all the way there and all the way through Minneapolis. I mean, we went from Sheboygan, Wisconsin to the Mall of America, and it literally parked us at the Mall of America. I don't think I needed to take over really once. And then when you come to those like new cities, driving in new cities, especially large cities with a lot of traffic, can be stressful.
It can
trying
be.
to navigate directions, not where you're going. And I think I actually use it more, and I trust it more than myself in larger cities driving than trying to juggle directions. Am I supposed to turn here? Just kind of hands off and let Elon take the wheel.
No, for sure. What is your favorite thing about having a Tesla?
Ooh, I really like, say, the overall experience. So I guess when I say that, from a user interaction, it's a lot different than, say, like a standard car. As some of the newer cars are getting better user interfaces, there's more I guess bells and whistles that they're getting. I just feel from a technology standpoint, from a customer experience or user experience, it's a lot ahead. I've had a Jeep, we rent cars for work.
A lot of rental cars.
And I've had Buicks, I've had Jeeps and Dodges, and they all have their own like apps, and none of them are as consistent or useful even on your phone standpoint from a feature standpoint as even the Tesla app is. I mean, you can summon your app, right? You can summon your car right from your phone. You can turn it on, a lot of cars can do that, but I guess the features aren't there. The extra cameras, right? I guess overall user experience.
Woo.
Of course, having like Netflix access and things like that. I think some cars are catching up to it, but when we're charging or if we're on a road trip, mom wants to run in the store and me and my daughter in the parking lot will watch some YouTube, right, on the screen.
That's handy.
Yeah. So
I've been there.
Yeah. Let them go do the shopping and it's okay. We're going to grab some drinks, some boba tea or something, and sit in the car and watch YouTube. So.
Nice. What is your least favorite thing about having a Tesla?
Ooh. I will say in terms of accessibility to like charging stations, while it isn't as big of an issue, it is something that you always have to consider whenever you're doing a road trip, right? It does require some pre-planning, and then of course whenever you need to stop somewhere and you need to say charge, it's not as fast as a standard combustion engine or gas vehicle to where it's a 2-minute charge, you're out. It does take a little bit more time than that, but it's not major, and it's always so isolated that it's isolated to road trips or those long drives. I never run into it driving around town because I have a charger. We have chargers at work. I have chargers at home.
Right.
So my car's always somewhere between 50 and 80%. But on those road trips to where, or if maybe you're going out of town to dinner and you're going to stop and you're going to do dinner and a movie and maybe some drinks or it's like do some exploring, or in a town where you have to charge on your way back, it is going to be an extra 15-20 minutes of say stop time opposed to like the minute or two it would take to fuel up. But that's not a major negative for me because that's all of the benefits far surpass that, and typically you get to a supercharger, right? You can charge for 5 minutes and be on your way. But it does require some additional thought into what you're doing than normal.
Right. Based on the experience you've had owning your EV, do you see yourself in the future buying more EVs? Or has it been an experience that, your next car will probably be gas?
I think my next vehicle will definitely still be an EV. I think from an infrastructure standpoint, it's only growing, and it's still very accessible. And for my needs, 99.99% of the time, like, an EV is fine. Like, I drive 2 hours to the airport. My most routine things, right, because we do travel for work, so it does require frequent trips to the airport, and that's my, like, it's routine, right? I don't have any issues. So 4 hours of driving, right, and a trip there and back, including the travel time in between, I don't typically have any issues. I think that's probably for most people driving around town. I don't really have to ever go to the gas station. Normal, like stopping out of the way on my way home from work, I never have to do that. I'm either charging at work or I'm charging at home. So
right. I've used very few superchargers, only on road trips, because of I don't drive enough day to day. Even when I go 60 miles one way to Milwaukee and come back, and if I drive all over Milwaukee, I still get back with plenty of battery.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's been rare that I've needed to because of having a charger at home.
Right.
Okay, last question is, what kind of accessories do you have? Do you have none? Do you have some? What's your favorite? Did any of that take a factor in your Tesla?
I actually don't have any accessories. I don't know that. Oh, I did do the upgraded lighting on my doors, like what is the lighting called for when you open your door?
Ambient lighting.
When you open it, it projects the logo on the ground.
Right.
I did those. Those are about the only really upgrades that I did. I like opening the door and having why can't I think of those, what the name of that is? But
I don't know, it's a door light, ambient light. I know what you're talking about, but no floor mats, phone holders, protectors, nothing else?
I did start to do like a screen protector. I think you have that, right? Do you have
there's a protector here and on the back screen. We have one. We got this one as a matte finish just to prevent glare, not really to protect the screen. The back one was to protect in case kids scratch it, hit it, throw stuff at it, whatever.
That one I need to do because my 9-year-old daughter gets in after school and just straight slanging the bags.
It drags stuff
I love
across.
You, Holly, in case you ever watch this. But you do.
But it's good to protect it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing I would recommend for the back ones. Especially the Model 3s seem to be even lower than this because
more, right.
So I'd highly recommend getting one of those, especially if you have kids.
Okay. Well, Jeremy, thank you for doing this with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thank you.